Welcome, fifth grade, and here is your science skill tutorial for the week. This one is called Graphing Skills. And of course, this one is especially important when we are talking about science skills because we use data so much. There are two different ways that you can use this particular gizmo. You can either create a graph of four different types: a bar graph, line graph, pie chart, or scatter plot. You can do that from a chart of data, or you can do it the other way around. And you can go from a graph of any of those four types, and you can create the chart that shows that data in there. So let's start off just by creating a graph, and I'll show you the way this works. Now I have down here show values, and you'll see why this is important. There are showing instructions here which will tell you exactly what you're going to be putting in every one of these fields, right? But I'll take this off for a second just to kind of show you the way this is going to work. So for example, down here, obviously we have our animals. So I'm going to click down here and I'm going to type in animal from the chart over here. The other part of this graph, excuse me, is going to be the speed. And I can even put kilometers per hour on there. Now, once I've done that, then I'm ready to start dragging these amounts to where they belong to reflect the data over here. For example, cheetah is 112. Now, when I look over here, I say, you know what? I can't go to 112. 100 is as high as this chart will go. This graph will go. So what I have to do is change the amount that this goes to from now. So now it's going from 0 to 200. Now I can go the other way, 0 to 100, 0 to 50. But that wouldn't do me any good because I've got to be able to reflect the speed of this cheetah. So I'm going to go 0 to 200 to be able to do that. Now, if I drag this, I can get it to where I think 112 is, somewhere in this area right there. But if I want to be exact on it, then I just click down here on the show values, and it's going to tell me when I have it at exactly 112. The elephant is 40. That's pretty easy. The hare is 56. Oops, went too far. The horse is 72. Oops, too far again. The human is 34. And the ostrich is 66. Oops. Now, in addition to putting these labels on both the x-axis and the y-axis, they also want you to put a title up here, which is Animal Speed Data. Once I have done all this, I check and I say, okay, all my amounts are right, my labels are right, my title is correct. Now I'm going to check this. And it tells me my accuracy score is 100. Nice job. So you're able to do this with each one of these four types of graphs. We have a line graph. You're going to do the same thing. Obviously, the day is going to be down here, and the temperature in Celsius is going to be down here. Now, you might look at this and go, well, now, I don't know if I have to have it 0 to 100. I could probably make this 0 to 50, and it would still be about right, since nothing on this temperature data is more than 50 degrees. So I'll just fill in my two labels. I'll put in my title for my graph, and then change all of these to reflect the data over here in the chart. And then I'll check it. Now, I did want to show you the pie chart because it's a little bit different. What you're going to be doing here is, we know that in any pie chart, you're going to have a total of 100%, right? Because this is talking about the pie preference data. So rather than having labels out here on the bottom on the x-axis and y, because it's not that type of graph, what we're going to do is we're going to move these amounts until we are reflecting 36% for Apple. And then we're going to have to adjust pecan to 26%. Now, if I move this, it's going to change Apple in the wrong direction. So I've got to move from over here to move the pecan to 26. And then the pumpkin to 12. And the cherry to 8. And that should leave me with the correct amount of other 18%, because we know that it has to add up to 100%. When I check that, we should be good. The scatter plot is slightly different also. What we're going to do here is we're going to look at these and we're going to have to figure out which one of these axes makes sense for the time in per minute and then the score. We could make this one over here the score, right? And we can also change our scale over here as well. Then what we will do is, for example, Robert at 40 minutes, let's make the bottom one the time down here. And this one over here will be the score, just so you'll see the way this works. And of course, the title would just be this studying and score data. It's going to be the title of our graph. What I do on a scatter plot is I say, well, Robert in 40 minutes scored a 98. So I just drag 40 and 98. And it's going to show me those values exactly where it needs to be. See if I kept it at the right place. And then I'll take Griselda, 5 in 58 minutes. And this is the way you create a scatter plot graph. Maria's 15 in 89 minutes. So this is a different type of graph. But this is what you'll do on the scatter plot. When you're going the other way, guys, I'll just show you real quickly. Drinking versus temperature. You'll do the same thing. Drinking versus temperature. Obviously, this is the day. This one could be the temperature. And this one could be liters of water. How much water are they drinking? Then on Monday, we can look from this scatter plot and we can say, well, on Monday, they drank, it was 33 degrees Celsius, and they drank 1.6 liters of water. So we will put 33 degrees Celsius there, 1.6 liters of water, and then so forth. Tuesday, 37 degrees, 2.5 liters. 37 degrees, 2.5 liters. So you can see that on these, you're just going the opposite direction when you are creating the table from the graph, as opposed to when you're creating the graph from the table. So I would encourage you guys, you'll have the student exploration sheet. Take some screenshots. Show me how you master each one of these types of graphs, either going from the table to a graph or going from a graph to the table. And you will be able to check those and just see how well you are able to manipulate the data and see the way these graphs work. I hope you enjoy it, guys. Send me some screenshots, and I'll see you in class.